You have to experiment with hashtags. Research them. If you want to look at other creators' hashtags and what they use and research in that manner, perfectly fine. I've no argument. I would actually highly suggest that. Look at what works for others in your field. But don't go to Daniela's page and take the 20 that she used in her last post, because it's not going to perform the way that you think. Your last one about ways to protect Instagram account, you definitely would have more relative hashtags related to that post. What am I going to do? Take your hashtags and put it on my post about cats? Like, it's not it's not going to work. Take the time, do your research, and experiment with these hashtags. We're going to discuss some of the mistakes that people are actually doing when it comes to hashtags. And you being the guest, please go right ahead and lead off.
Okay, I would love to start with adding hashtags to your bio. Don't do that. So many accounts do it. It just drives people away from your page. They see the hashtag, they click on that hashtag, and they're gone. They don't go back to your account and give it a follow. Do not put hashtags in the bio.
I 1,000% agree. I think a lot of people put it there thinking that it will gain the attention from the hashtag page and lead them to their page, and it doesn't work like that with bios, unfortunately. I think you have a better opportunity using keywords in your bio and obviously your name field, people to find you through search, rather than using hashtags. Well, I'm going to go into my first one, which is kind of the same as yours, but I kind of made it general. Location, location, location. Now, we always apply that to real estate. Well, technically, real estate exists on Instagram because you want to figure out where to put hashtags. And as Daniela stated, one of the places you shouldn't put hashtags is bio. But there's a couple other places as well that you should avoid. One of them, comments.
Yes.
You know, we've always had this debate whether you should put hashtags in captions or comments. That debate is no longer a debate. It's been settled. The head of Instagram came out a few months ago and actually stated hashtags work in captions, not the comments. The other place is IG stories. Hashtags do not work any longer on IG stories. They used to. They do not work like that anymore. Whereas if you put a hashtag, they used to tell you put 10 hashtags on IG stories, hide it.
Exactly.
And then, you know, you'll find your content on the hashtag page. They don't show IG stories on the hashtag page no longer. So it doesn't work in the way that you want it to.
Yeah, which is upsetting, I have to say, because I really like that, because your stories you were reaching other accounts with your stories, and that is kind of frustrating that they took that away.
I agree, because I used to actually explore the IG stories of hashtags to find other people's content, and it was really interesting. I don't understand why they took that away. If there was one feature they brought back, I wish it would be that. Those were some of the locations I suggest you don't put it. Myself and Daniela had a video that we discussed. Our last IG Live was about IG stories. If you guys ever wanted to check out that video, it's on YouTube. It's called Tips to Boost IG Stories. What is your second one? I'd love to know. What's your second hashtag mistake that you see people make often?
Yes. So people reach out to me a lot, asking about their hashtags and why they are only drawing in their competitors. So that is a big mistake, because they are using, so the first thing I do is going on their post and seeing right away the hashtags are used in the wrong way. They only use hashtags relevant to their industry, which means they will obviously reach their competitors and not their target audience. So put in target audience based hashtags and not 30 competitor related hashtags.
That is an excellent point that I have seen a few people discuss. Now, you mentioned targeted audience hashtags. Like, if you could go a little bit further and explain that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you use hashtags, for example, you are a local business, don't talk about your candle business in your hashtags. You know, don't do candle biz, blah, blah, blah. You know, add your location to it. You know, say Candle Biz Michigan, or, you know, something like that. So people are looking for that. But also use things like small businesses or support small businesses. You know, those are kind of things that people are following that are interested in supporting a small business or supporting a local business. for example. So, I mean, this could be your target audience. Also think of your target audience. Who is your target audience? Use those hashtags as well.
That kind of goes into my second one. My second one for avoiding hashtag mistakes happens to be do not repeat. So you want to mix up your hashtags across your post. Don't do just 10 hashtags, collect 10 hashtags or 30 and use them for every single post that you put out. You're asking for trouble in that type of manner. You want to use only relevant hashtags to that specific piece of content. Unless you're posting the same exact content every day, your hashtags should be relatively different to each content. And I know that Daniela does that very, very well.
Crucial part of having a good hashtag reach. Definitely, I mean, if you're done, that definitely ties into my third tip. And my third tip would be using relevant hashtags according to not just your content, but also to, again, your location, your audience, and so forth. So what I do, for example, is that for every new client I work with and for my own page, I research hashtags, I test things out. It usually takes 4 to 6 weeks to find good sets of hashtags for each content pillar. That way you can just reuse them, copy and paste them again per content pillar. And then when you have something, you know, talking about a holiday or whatever, just add that hashtag into that set and it mixes it up again. But you can have a base of, I think I have 6 sets of hashtags I use over and over again, and they work great. And then I just mix and match whatever is relevant.
Okay, I like that strategy. That's a really good strategy because you're not almost starting from scratch every single time.
Oh no, you don't at all. Like, I haven't changed my hashtags per content pillar in 6 months because they work great.
My last one, and I think that you would agree with this one. There are people that just don't use hashtags at all. And I think you're doing yourself a complete disservice. Listen, if you're watching right now and you're not using hashtags and your first name isn't Beyonce, I think you're doing it wrong. I only give Beyonce the ability to do something like that. She don't need hashtags. She got X amount of millions of followers. She could do it. I don't even want her to add hashtags because she's taking up all the steam for us. But you should be using hashtags. What harm is it going to do if you add at least one hashtag? It's actually been proven. If you add at least one hashtag, your actual awareness, your reach will increase. It'll increase by you just using one extra hashtag.
One relevant hashtag.
Relative.
Not
yes, thank you very much.
Whatever.
Thank you very much. Don't go with hashtag Beyonce or hashtag love. Please don't do that.
Exactly. Your post will drown.
But yes, you guys should be using at least one hashtag. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to do 30, 20, 10. Figure out how much works for you. Generally, I've learned the more the better.
Yep.
But that works for my account. I don't know what will work for yours. Experiment and figure it out as well. That's one of the things that, well, you know what? I'll add it as a bonus. Experiment. You have to experiment with hashtags. There's no way that somebody just tells you, do this, and you take verbatim, you know, these 20 hashtags. You know, it kind of goes in line with don't copy hashtags from other content creators.
Oh, yes.
You know, it's
Stay.
you have to take your own hashtags, research them. If you want to look at other creators' hashtags and what they use and research in that manner, perfectly fine. I've no argument. I would actually highly suggest that. Look at what works for others in your field. But I'm not saying to go ahead and take, you know, don't go to Daniela's page and take the 20 that she used in her last post, because it's not going to perform the way that you think. You know, one of your posts that you put up, oh, and I love this one, your last one about ways to protect Instagram account. You definitely would have more relative hashtags related to that post. What am I going to do? Take your hashtags and put it on my post about cats? Like, it's not, it's not going to work. You know, so take the time, do your research, and experiment with these hashtags. It will take some time, but in the long run, it's going to really work out for you. It really is.
Yep, and adding on to that, since we're talking about even people in the same industry, you shouldn't use the same hashtags as I use, because hashtags rely on engagement and depend on your account size. So always filter by engagement and account size, and all of that is so important to get good hashtag reach.
If you really want to think about it, Instagram is really young. Instagram technically is a teenager.
Yep.
It's just going through its teenage phase right now. That's the best way I could put it. It's like it's acting up. You never know what you're gonna get with Instagram. And we kind of got to evolve with it. We can't stick to our own ways, our own techniques and strategies. They don't work today. They worked yesterday. They don't apply them today. Evolve with Instagram, and you would be able to succeed as well. That's how I'm looking at it. Did you have any bonuses that you might have wanted to add, or something that you wanted the audience to walk away from knowing in regards to avoiding hashtag mistakes?
Yeah, common question, right? What you already touched base on is how many hashtags we should use. And I, same as you, say the more the better, up to 30, not more than 30. Instagram actually used to post the post or caption and allow that if you went above 30. Now they give you like an error message.
Yeah.
It won't work anymore. So you can actually add more hashtags to it, which is good. But also keeping in mind that you only want to use relevant hashtags. So that again goes down to how many hashtags should you use? Well, as many relevant ones as you can find.
I think you guys got a lot of information from myself and Daniela in regards to these mistakes that we see so many times from different creators, small businesses, large businesses. We've seen them making these mistakes, but it's so easy to avoid. So go ahead and take this strategy, take these tips and techniques that Daniela has just suggested to you as well. Feel free to look at our respective pages if you want to kind of get an idea of how they work and how we use them. And as I always state, go ahead and take this and step your gram up. And there you have it. 6, including a bonus, Instagram hashtag mistakes that many businesses and brands make. But you're now wise and you're not going to make those mistakes, provided with the information that myself and Daniela just given you. I hope that you take this information and move forward with it. And if you got any valuable insight and just a little bit of entertainment from this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and don't forget to ring that reminder so you will be aware of all of my latest videos when they drop. Now that you finished watching myself and Daniela talk about hashtag mistakes, we also have another video for you that you might be interested in. How to get more views in IG stories. Tap the video on the screen to see more, and I hope that you like that as well. Until the next time, I'm Hassan of Social Varsity, and I'm out.